Hi everyone, my name is Allison and I'm here to talk to you about my home state of Washington. Washington is famous for many things, including coffee, salmon, apples, grunge music, and rain. It's also home to some of America's most successful companies like Starbucks, Microsoft, Amazon, and of course Boeing. The Boeing final assembly plant in Washington is the largest building in the entire world. That's where they make the 737s and 787s flown by Iraqi Airways. In fact, in July 2017, an Iraqi pilot flew the latest Boeing 737 all the way from Seattle to Baghdad. As for music, everyone knows that Nirvana and other famous grunge bands are from Washington, but there are a lot of other famous musicians from Washington State as well. Bing Crosby, Jimi Hendrix, Macklemore, Sir Mix-a-Lot. And I can't talk about Washington without talking about its big sports teams, the Seattle Mariners and the Seattle Seahawks, who won the Super Bowl in 2013. The Seahawks get their name from a bird more commonly known as the osprey, which is a big bird of prey that eats mostly fish and lives all over the world, including in Iraq. The Seahawks logo is inspired by the art of the Pacific Northwest Coast Indian tribes, who are famous for their stylized paintings of the region's animal life. They also carved totem poles out of whole tree trunks, using the same style of art to tell stories about animals, people, history, and legends. Totem poles are one of the iconic images of Pacific Northwest culture, and you'll see them in communities all around Western Washington. Seattle is actually named after a chief of the Squamish and Duwamish tribes, which lived in the area already when settlers founded the city in 1851. Chief Seattle is perhaps most famous for his calling for the preservation of his tribe's native lands, and he's an inspiration for Washington's many environmentalists. Washington is one of the greenest states in the nation, literally and figuratively, and we love our forests, oceans, rivers, and wildlife. And the natural environment in Washington is really cool. We have Mount Rainier, which is a 4,400 meter high volcano with massive glaciers and ice caves, and on a clear day, it's part of Seattle's famous skyline. We have the Olympic National Forest, which is the wettest and rainiest part of the continental United States. We also have giant octopuses, which can be 30 feet across, tentacle to tentacle, and weigh up to 600 pounds. They're so big, people have seen them eating sharks, really. Cities in Washington get most of their electricity from dams, like the Grand Coulee Dam, the largest one in the United States. Unfortunately, the dams block salmon from swimming upstream from the ocean to spawn. And since salmon have been central to the economy and culture of the Pacific Northwest for thousands of years, we had to find a way around that. So dams in Washington have what are called fish ladders, basically a series of underwater steps to help the salmon make it over the dam. I know that Iraq has a lot of dams too, and that rivers are important for electricity and agriculture here. I would love to hear your ideas in the comments about how Iraq can use and protect its own water resources. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning a little something about the very best of the United States.